Tonight, a new student union looks to take over at the University of Regina. The Mosaic Company invests into training for the mining industry. And why a Regina restaurant is annoyed with parking enforcement.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. People interested in a career in the mining industry have an opportunity to study in their home communities, specifically rural areas. Today, the Mosaic Company announced a $4 million investment into high school and post-secondary institutions across Saskatchewan. Sierra D'Souza Butts has the details.
With the town of Esterhazy being home to the Mosaic Company's largest potash operation, the town is always looking for opportunities to keep young people in the community.
Our students that are in Esterhazy, their parents already work at the mines. So with them getting the education in Esterhazy, they can become second or third generation miners, which means, of course, growth.
Now that's closer to happening.
I'm pleased to share that the Mosaic Company is committing $4 million to programs with several important education partners here in Saskatchewan.
Mosaic's $4 million investment will provide high schools and post-secondary institutions across Saskatchewan a chance to expand educational opportunities for students considering mining careers.
We are already looking at positions that we need to fill, one being industrial mechanics. So throughout the year, we've had about 20 rotating empty positions and have been trying to fill those. And there's about 100 roles just for industrial mechanics in Esterhazy, so it's critical that we start investing in that pipeline, so as people retire, we can fill it every time there's an opening.
Good Spirit School Division, Suncrest College, Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and a potash mining readiness program for Indigenous students will each receive at least $1 million from Mosaic.
We'll be able to almost quadruple the number of students that we're able to put through our practical and applied arts millwright program in Churchbridge that doors would have been closed for in the past.
It's a great pathway for students in rural Saskatchewan to be able to get this education at home is phenomenal, and we know that our learners thrive when they study close to home.
Each institution will use the funding differently, but the goal is the same, building a larger workforce for one of Saskatchewan's largest industries. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The city of Moose Jaw has parted ways with their city manager, Maurice Carmichael, after just 2.5 years. The city of Moose Jaw released a statement today for Mayor James Murdoch, thanking her for her leadership and extending his best wishes for success in her future endeavors, while, of course, thanking residents for the support, and they continue to focus on delivering quality services. Now, Carmichael was a former snowbird pilot, in fact, the first female to fly the famous jet. Chief of Staff Rhonda Simsniak will take over on an interim basis. We'll have more on this later on in the week. Since the University of Regina's student union disbanded back in October, there's been concern on campus on who will represent the students. As Damian Smith tells us, a new group has formed, hoping to fill the void.
It's a time of transition for University of Regina students who have been without an official student union since URSU dissolved in October. A new union has formed on campus, but will need a referendum to get an organization into place.
We're sort of here as signers to get the organization started with incorporation and all of that sort of stuff, and then to pursue the negotiations with the university on getting everything handed back over to student control.
The new union will be called the University of Regina Students Association, or URSA. According to McStravick, the organization will operate like the legislature with a general council and will also have 100 seats available for student groups around the University of Regina and First Nations University.
We're not going to try to dictate to the student societies and associations how they ought to elect, appoint the people who are filling their seats.
Also new, students from FNU will also have elected representation. In the past, URSU worked with the FNU Student Association, receiving a portion of the fees from past levies.
At FNU here, there's not. The students aren't allowed to vote here, so we do need that board, that bigger board that can help to advocate for things like that. And I think that it's great because we have been sitting in limbo for so long.
FNU is guaranteed representation both as a federated college, so there will be a direct elected member to the General Council for FNU.
The election will take place in March, and a neutral chief returning officer for the election will also be hired to show students transparency and give them confidence in the election process. Damien Spetz, CTV News, Regina.
A longtime Regina restaurant is dishing out their frustration towards downtown parking. Recently, they've seen a rise in parking ticket enforcement towards their delivery drivers. Donovan Mace explains.
Memories Dining and Bar has operated its downtown restaurant on the corner of Victoria Avenue and Osler Street for nearly 4 decades.
It just started recently.
Each day, its location, neighboring hotel, and surrounding businesses receive deliveries, and drivers often park to unload here.
The loading zone, when we used to be from where the sign is there, all the way to the back of this tree.
Slimo says in the past year, public parking was added to the west side of Osler Street, shrinking the loading zone delivery drivers use, meaning they are forced to stop in the middle of the road.
So now you have 3 vehicles. Right now there's only 2, but it's big enough for 3 for people to park.
And those deliveries often take longer than the allotted 10 minutes this sign says they have to unload.
The deliveries could take half hour to an hour, just depending on the load.
Slimo says parking attendants constantly monitor the space at times, even using a stopwatch, timing how long a truck sits in the spot before issuing a ticket.
I feel for our business too, and for the drivers, and they're frustrated too.
In response to CTV News, the city of Regina says all loading zones are time limited to promote vehicle turnover, and where feasible, extended loading zones are placed near alleyways to accommodate larger vehicles for loading and unloading. Adding the city also has conversations with individual businesses to create ad hoc solutions when possible. But Memories believes the solution is quite simple. Remove the public parking to restore the loading zone's former size and for attendants to be more gracious.
They're writing tickets all over the city. The downtown is already a struggle for a lot of people. So we need to promote to bring people downtown, not to scare them away because they're worried to park.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
The former director of a private Christian school has pleaded guilty to criminal charges. Instead of going to trial today, John Olababukan pleaded guilty to 5 counts of assault with a weapon stemming from 2003 while working at Christian Center Academy, now known as Valor Academy. This comes just weeks after being sentenced and convicted of 9 counts of assault with a weapon. A sentencing hearing is scheduled for Thursday. Saskatchewan health officials are widening access to HIV self-testing kits. The Saskatchewan Health Authority says better access to these kits will help with both HIV awareness and reducing the stigma around testing. Kits can be picked up by members of the public at a variety of SHA locations. That includes public health clinics, community support providers, and more. A full list can be found through the SHA's website. The kits only require a small blood sample to deliver accurate results within 1 minute. Positive results need to be confirmed through additional in-person testing. The Saskatchewan SPCA is raising concerns about animal welfare enforcement in the province. As Stacey Hine tells us, it comes as the provincial government opens the bid for animal protection services to new agencies.
With the contract for animal protection services in Saskatchewan set to expire in March, the province has opened the work to new bids. Currently, Animal Protection Services of Saskatchewan handles enforcement province-wide, except in Regina, where the Humane Society provides the service. The Saskatchewan SPCA says it worries about the changes, including potential funding cuts.
The main one, though, would be around the financial constraints.
The province told CTV News it spent about $6.5 million on animal protection over the past 3.5 years, which works out to about $1.8 million per year. But the Saskatchewan SPCA says new requests for proposals suggest an annual budget of $1.6 million. It notes officers already log enough overtime to equal a full-time position.
They're already seeing, a strained workload based off the current of dollars that have been made available to them time, we aren't sure how an agency taking over would do more with less.
Last week, the province announced it's updating animal protection legislation to improve transparency and accountability. The changes include a new code of conduct, a chief officer to oversee enforcement, and an appeals board on animal decisions. The Saskatchewan SPCA says there's still unanswered questions around the legislation changes and funding.
And any time that we can have an opportunity to get clarification, we welcome that.
In a statement to CTV News, the province says animal welfare remains a priority for Saskatchewan. It also says the proposed budget of $1.6 million reflects the funding that will continue to fully support enforcement under a new provider. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, today is known as Giving Tuesday, a day dedicated to generosity and community support. And up in Saskatoon, the Food Bank and Learning Centre marked the occasion with a major boost. Carla Shinkaruk has those details.
We're happy to donate $10,000 on behalf of our members to the Saskatoon Food Bank today.
At the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Centre, their annual Light It Up campaign kicked off on Giving Tuesday with a big helping hand. It's thanks to members of UFCW Locals, a check presented for $10,000, the money raised by workers across Saskatchewan.
I think for us it's important to show that unions also, the solidarity that unions show extends beyond the workplace into the community.
Union leaders say rising costs have left even steady wage earners stretched thin.
Our members that we represent here in Saskatoon, PA, Regina, they have full-time jobs. They're using the food bank. So that's why, with us and National, we've come across this, and that's why we're doing this donation.
At the food bank, the need continues to climb month after month, but they're counting on this holiday campaign, their biggest of the year.
Despite everyone feeling the crunch for the cost of living, we're seeing folks come out in droves to already support us in this campaign.
So for some perspective on what donations mean here, that $10,000 will cover 7,000 of these containers of milk.
In our food bank program, we're seeing over 23,000 people a month, probably putting out 8,500 hampers a month, and that's a big strain on our resources.
On a day built around giving back, for the food bank, this contribution is more than a donation. It's a reminder that community support keeps their doors open and shelves stocked. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A plaque was unveiled at a provincial building today, recognized for its accessibility. Now, the T.C. Douglas building in Regina received the Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification back on August the 30th. It's a national rating system that evaluates meaningful access for most disabilities. That includes mobility, neurodivergent, hearing, and vision issues, so that you can visit these buildings. T.C. Douglas building already had most accessibility features, so an extensive upgrade was not required for this. The additional upgrades, though, were added with power front doors, wayfinding signs, and universal washrooms. Certification, by the way, is valid for 5 years.
Over the next couple of years, we're looking to audit our 515 owned buildings until December 2027 to give us the information we need to see what the gap is to get other buildings accessible for all the citizens who need access to buildings that provide government programs and services.
The Sturdy Stone in Saskatoon and Cooper Place in Regina are the next buildings under review for the certification. Well, last week's warm weather benefited Canadian Western Agribition as the event broke an attendance record. This year's show welcomed more than 151,000 visitors, making it the largest Agribition to date. 3 sold-out rodeo nights were a major factor with it, along with a record number of school-aged visitors. The 55th edition of Agribition returns to the Real District in late November, and that happens, of course, next year. Sabine is not in studio. She's down at City Hall for the Light the Lights event. And it's a cold one, Sabine.
Yeah, I'm I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Jonesy. It's a bit cold out here. My face feels a little frozen. But if you dress up in layers, there is a little crowd behind me that's just started kind of gathering behind. And our friends from Your Morning, Daryl, Janelle, and Kayleen are on stage right now. Any minute, those lights are going to light up. So if we talk about temperatures, though, yeah, the wind chill sitting at about minus 21. But if you are layered up, it's not going to prevent you from spending some time outdoors. There's a lot of festivities still happening. There's a horse and carriage ride happening around the block here. There's a couple of people lined up to take part in that. But like I said, if you take a look at the radar satellite, we haven't really had to worry about snowfall or active weather. It's these temperatures. Right now, minus 11, but with the wind chill, like I said, we're dipping into the minus 20s, and you'll see that as we take a look at the next slide here for the wind chill values. Our average daytime high, yeah, there you go, minus 20 in Regina, a little warmer in the southwest there with a wind chill of about minus 13, and far up north, Stony Rapids, Collins Bay in minus 39 for wind chill. So yes, we're starting to feel some frigid conditions right now. The average is about minus 5. Early this morning, we got to about 0 as our high. That's not what's to be expected as we head into tomorrow, because these temperatures are starting to drastically drop again, with tomorrow expecting to be a colder than seasonal temperature. So that's what we've got coming up. I believe the mayor is speaking now, and the lights will be hopefully lighting up any second now. Yep. But by the time we check back in, you most likely around 6:30, you should see the lights lit up. Lee?
Yeah, we were hoping 6:15. We were told the lights were going to go up, and 6:15. I guess maybe
there were some elves dancing before that.
Well, there was some movement. They're probably just trying to stay warm, Sabine. We can hear the mayor talking. I thought he said, and now, that he was going to flip on the lights. Here we go.
Breaking news.
Get ready for a countdown. We have some kids up here, some countdown.
They're getting the countdown going.
To come line up over to the lights, and we have a special guest
to light the lights in front of
there you go. You've got Santa up there now.
Bit of people.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna move quickly because we have a bunch of kids standing in front of the big button. So is everybody ready to count us down?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. 10.
And, well, let's hope it's worth the wait. Here we go. We'll take it away.
3, 2, 1.
There you have it, Lee. The trees are lit up in front of City Hall. The building's lit up. And the crowd is pretty happy.
All right, well, I hope that was worth your frostbites, Sabine. We'll talk to you in about 15 minutes' time.
Sounds good.
After the break, the Assembly of First Nations wants Ottawa to rescind their pipeline deal with Alberta, plus a national effort to crack down on the drug trade in Canada.
Greetings, everyone. There are a number of initiatives happening across Canada to help grow the game of hockey, including one program coming straight from the top. NHL First Shift recently made its way to Regina, giving families some of the pieces needed to begin exploring hockey in a competitive capacity.
A unique tryout is happening on the ice. 45 skaters new to the sport of hockey, breaking in their skates, sticks, and equipment for the very first time. They are all a part of NHL First Shift, a program helping to get skaters and families into Canada's favorite pastime.
It's so much more than sport. You know, what we're providing is really safe spaces for kids to come and to play and to try and to build courage at any skill level. And so to be able to provide that for kids where they can build their confidence and relate with their peers and try something new, it's really remarkable.
For generations, youth in Canada looking to make it in pro hockey has been a family effort. The sport requires both time and resources, which has been a barrier for many looking to pursue it. First Shift is intended to help families manage these barriers by getting players geared up on arena ice and learning to play the game from instructors.
We
are not really familiar with the hockey life leagues, and just having somebody out there showing us right from what we need and how to put it on to the basics in skating.
The NHL First Shift program has worked with over 22,000 children across Canada. 45 skaters ages 6 to 10 are in this group, made up entirely of Indigenous children. Throughout the 6-week program, skaters will be in a 1-to-4 ratio with instructors, preparing to play a season with Rancheros Outdoor Hockey League. The OHL has been a longtime advocate for removing barriers for children to play hockey.
The OHL, the Outdoor Hockey League, has been growing, and now to be able to supplement our program with First Shift, to give another opportunity to our players and youth in our city. We look forward to further opportunities where we're able to engage and give back to community.
The NHL First Shift program was made possible by sponsorships from One Hoop and Innovation Federal Credit Union, along with Hockey Regina and Arlo Sport Venture.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
While BC's premier has changed his tune, the biggest obstacle for a proposed pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast could be Indigenous support. Today, the Assembly of First Nations chiefs unanimously passed an emergency resolution to demand a withdrawal of the new pipeline deal. Abigail Bimman has the latest.
This resolution has been accepted and approved by consensus.
The Assembly of First Nations unanimously passed a motion to keep the oil tanker ban off the BC West Coast and call to scrap the MOU with Alberta that sets the stage for a new pipeline.
We will use every measure possible to fight and oppose an oil pipeline.
Merle Alexander is representing 2 BC coastal First Nations at the Assembly and says a proposed pipeline is a threat to many people's not just livelihood, but very essence.
First Nations in Canada are feeling overwhelmed, that they're feeling as though there is the duty to consult is being undermined.
Canada can create all the MOUs, project offices, advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approving large national projects on First Nations lands, there will not be getting around rights holders.
It's bad enough First Nations don't trust the government, and this makes it even worse.
BC's regional chief came to Ottawa with the message that First Nations need to be consulted about development on their territory.
Not about us, without us, and that is a rounding message, I think, not only with the resolution, but with all our concerns in regards to Bill C-5.
And it's a message not just coming from BC.
We've had enough of being excluded, and there's going to be trillions of dollars going to be extracted over the next 10 to 100 years, and for First Nations to get chump change, it's not going to happen.
The Special Chiefs Assembly continues here until Thursday. Also on the agenda, a plenary session about the Major Projects Office and Indigenous Advisory Committee. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
A joint strike force involving more than 100 police agencies in Canada has resulted in record seizures of fentanyl over the last few months. Judy Trin has the details.
These investigations took place on opposite ends of our province.
For months, police across Canada, in big cities and small towns, have been targeting organized crime.
We did find this group had certain photos or emblems.
Between May and October, a joint strike force of more than 100 police agencies focused on taking illegal fentanyl off the streets. Police seized 386 kilograms of fentanyl, more than 1,700 kilograms of methamphetamine, and nearly 6,000 kilograms of cocaine, along with more than $13 million in cash.
There's some big players here, and there's some smaller departments, but it's a real shining example of the feds, the provinces, and municipal agencies all working together.
A chunk of fentanyl there. This is the second time that a national effort was coordinated by the RCMP to target deadly opioids after Donald Trump accused Canada of not doing enough to stem the flow of fentanyl across the border earlier this year.
Canada's
very bad abuser. The RCMP say more than 8,000 arrests and charges were laid involving 200 organized crime groups. Despite the record quantities of seizures, investigators say fentanyl is being trafficked for domestic use, not being exported.
The source is not each other. The source is from external countries, external regions. So fentanyl is not going certainly from Canada to the U.S.
The RCMP say China continues to be the biggest source of precursor chemicals that go into the making of illegal fentanyl. In the near future, the Mounties plan to target ports, rail yards, and airports, along with drugs that are sent through the mail. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff is in Moscow meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, trying to discuss a potential end to the war in Ukraine. U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner is also taking part in the talks at the Kremlin as the administration works to build support for Trump's peace plan. Critics of the plan say it endorses many of Moscow's demands, including Russia taking control of a large part of Ukraine, Ukraine being denied the ability to join NATO, and restrictions on the size of the country's military. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Ireland working to maintain European support against the ongoing invasion.
We are waiting for the results in America-Russia negotiations, today's results, and I will react according to the results. If I feel that we can count on real, specific dialogue, not just words, with some result, we will meet, and he's very welcome to Ukraine. But I'm not sure that they are up on this way, this day, they're ready to come.
Ireland, which is not a NATO member, is officially neutral when it comes to the conflict. However, the country has sent non-lethal military support to Ukraine. In addition, more than 100,000 Ukrainians have fled to Ireland since Russia began its invasion in February of 2022. Coming up on day 2 of the 12 Strays of Christmas, we introduce you to a black cat named Nui.
Hey, it's going to be a very prairie Christmas. Wednesday on Your Morning, a very special performance from Jeffrey Straker ahead of his very prairie Christmas shows in Saskatchewan.
Shout out to my crew in the control room. They're staying warm while I am down here at City Hall with Gareth. We are checking out the Light festivities. Our friends from Your Morning Saskatchewan also on stage. I'm seeing Daryl, Kayleen, and Janelle. And yes, it is a bit chilly, but it hasn't stopped the crowd from lining up to take part in the horse carriage rides that are happening. There's still entertainment happening. You can hear behind me choirs, carolers, dancers, and that will continue until 8 o'clock tonight. So if you do want to layer up, make sure you layer up, and you can come down and take part in some of these festivities. There's also a Tim Hortons truck that seems to have quite a bit of lineup for the hot chocolate. Taking a look outside through our sky cam, of course, there is City Hall. Not easy to read, but a little bit. You can see that Season's Greetings is written across some of those windows there, and of course all the trees lit up. And temperature currently sitting at -11 with the wind chill. It is sitting at about -21. So definitely a little frigid, but we don't have to worry about any type of snowfall or precipitation, as you can see on the radar satellite. Mostly cloudy conditions for most of the day, and that will change as we head into tomorrow. As we take a look at the weather tracker here, we'll see that most of the conditions, or clouds, will start to clear as we head into tomorrow, leaving us with mostly clear conditions for Wednesday. And as we head into Thursday, that's a different story. Wednesday night, we can expect to see some snow enter the picture, and overnight, bringing that snow into parts of southern Saskatchewan, including Regina and areas in the Parkland. And then as the day continues into Thursday, we'll see mostly cloudy conditions before some of that snow continues into the southwest by Thursday night into Friday morning. But in terms of how much snow we can expect, it doesn't really look like it'll be a lot when it comes to snowfall totals. We'll probably see mostly trace amounts, anywhere between 1 to 3 centimeters of snow. There you have it. We can take a look on this map here. And again, that won't be until Thursday. Oh, look, it disappeared. But mostly Thursday night into Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So again, anywhere in southern Saskatchewan, anywhere between 1 to 3 centimeters of snow. It is the temperatures I do want to talk about, because though we saw some above seasonal temperatures or around seasonal temperatures today, as we head into tomorrow and tomorrow night, that's where those temperatures are going to start feeling much colder than the average temperatures. You can see some of those overnight lows in the minus 20s tonight, not including the wind chill. And then tomorrow, areas like Prince Albert, minus 17, minus 16 for Saskatoon tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud. Into the southwest, we will see some of those temperatures a little bit warmer than the minus 16, but we're still going to be dealing with some very frigid temperatures heading into the overnight tomorrow night as well. And that is expected to continue. Yeah, minus 4 for Maple Creek, above average for tomorrow, but heading into tomorrow night, that will be a different story as well. In the southeast, a little similar, but if we take a look, similar to the colder than seasonal temperatures in the teens there. But if we take a closer look at Regina tonight, our overnight lows are expected to dip to minus 24. With the wind chill, we will see those temperatures feeling closer to the minus 28, minus 29 mark. Tomorrow, minus 15 is the expected daytime high. And again, seeing mainly sunny conditions, so the sun sometimes can fool you, feeling a little warmer than what it actually is, but make sure you're still layering up. And here's a look at your next 7 days, and it kind of is looking like a bit of a roller coaster. Minus 15 tomorrow, mainly sunny. Then we're left with mostly gray conditions right across the board there, but warmer on Thursday, minus 3, seeing some snow Thursday morning before we're left with just clouds. Friday, minus 8, cloudy. By the weekend, the wind chill values will be dipping back into the minus 30s. Minus 16 is Saturday's daytime high. Minus 11 for Sunday. And by the time we get into Monday, we're back into that seasonal range. Minus 5 with a mix of sun and cloud. But take a look at Tuesday. A week from today, we're warming up to 0 for the daytime high with nothing but cloudy conditions, but windy conditions.
It is day 2 of the 12 Strays of Christmas. On the first day, we introduce you to a lovely dog named Gabby. Tonight, of course, we got to give the cats their love. We will show the first cats of 12 Strays of Christmas, and we'll go to Candice Davis now with the Regina Humane Society. Candice, bonjour, comment ça va?
Oh, très bien. I had to really think about that.
Yeah.
In a minute.
Throwing some French at her because what we have with us is Nuit, which is French for night, which makes sense because we have a lovely black cat. What can you tell us about Nuit?
Of course. So Nuit is a 6-year-old neutered male, and when he came into the shelter, we actually found that he had a fractured jaw, which is really tough. And I mean, he was so brave through it all. You could barely tell that anything was wrong at all. Big brave boy. But what we did is our veterinarians actually managed to repair that jaw fracture. He had to have a little wire on his chin for a while, holding his jaw together. But he spent about 2 months in foster care with an amazingly dedicated foster parent who actually made sure that he was well looked after. And now he is finally ready for his forever home. And my gosh, is he a charming boy. He has been just an angel in here. Loves to sit on your lap, loves the sun ray. He's just great. Yeah, being, obviously not a young kitten, an older cat, what can people expect, I guess, if they're looking to adopt him? Yeah, so I personally love adopting an adult cat because you really know what you're getting. And they're kind of through that chaotic kitten phase where they're, exploring everything, climbing the curtains, climbing everything. So it's nice. You kind of get to go into that chill phase where they just want to cuddle. They'll keep you laughing because they're still playful, but they're a little bit more easygoing and a little bit more of a low-key pet, which I love.
Right. We do have to give a shout out to Nashville. You may have seen another cat roaming around there, much like the city of Nashville. Wants to make it a party, I guess. There is Nashville, yes. But we are talking about Nuit. I guess anything as far as payments for the cat, is it already been paid for, or would fees be applied to this adoption?
Yeah, so Nuit has actually been generously sponsored by somebody that thought he was really special. So his adoption is free. The only thing that you would need to pay is if you live in the city of Regina is a city license fee, which for a cat is only $20. So I think that's a steal of a deal for a lifetime of love. Yeah, and like you said, very calm. Seems like a very calm cat that might just want a few rubs and snuggles for sure. That might be, if you're interested in that, this cat might be for you. Candice, thanks for this. We'll see you on throughout the days. Thank you, Lee. You were so cute.
12 Strays of Christmas, brought to you by Flooring Superstore. Quality flooring at great prices.
Still ahead, can the Swift Current Broncos break the winless streak of South Saskatchewan WHL teams playing games in the U.S.?
Wardrobe consideration in part by Colin O'Brien Men's Shop.
The United States has not been a successful trip for WHL teams from southern Saskatchewan. The Pats lost all 6 games, while the Broncos have lost their first 3.
Two bodies collide. That was McLaughlin getting in the way of Darby on the far side. Now free, shoots, scores!
Tonight, the Broncos take on the Wenatchee Wild, perhaps their best chance at a win. Swift Current has been outscored 21-7 in their first 3 games down south. Game time starts tonight, 8 o'clock, SAS time. CFL News, the Toronto Argonauts have gone in-house for their new head coach. Mike Miller has served as the team's quarterback coach for the past 4 seasons. The 55-year-old from Pittsburgh has extensive coaching experience in the CFL, NFL, XFL, and Europe. He was offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals at one time and later had the same role at the Montreal Alouettes. He succeeds Ryan Dinwiddie, who left the Argos to become head coach and GM of the Ottawa Red Blacks. Team Carrie Anderson will wear Canada colors at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts next month in Mississauga. Curling Canada says the Manitoba rink will assume the title of Team Canada at the end of January. The reigning champion, skipped by Rachel Homan, will not play at the Scotties because they're getting ready for the Olympics. Anderson is a 4-time Canadian champion. Her team had already earned one of the 3 pre-qualification berths for the Scotties based on last season's rankings. And FIFA is yet to reveal the match schedule for next year's World Cup in a live broadcast on Saturday. The broadcast from Washington will confirm the venues and kickoff times for all 104 tournament matches. Toronto's hosting 6 games, Vancouver 7 games. FIFA says the game allocation process is meant to create ideal conditions for players and fans. On Friday, a draw will determine the World Cup's 12 groups of 4, and you can watch that draw on TSN starting 11 o'clock a.m. Saskatchewan time. Still ahead, a new music festival in Saskatoon that's bringing in a big-time act.
Welcome back. I'm still down here at City Hall in Regina taking in the Light the Lights event with dancers, carolers happening. And if you are worried about coming down here and maybe being a little too cold, you can always go inside. There's a lot of activities happening. Even some members of the Grey Cup champs, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, are down there. But let's take a closer look at what you can expect for the rural forecast as we head into tomorrow. Temperatures will certainly be colder than average, and we will start to see more of that sunshine peeking out. Melfort minus 17 with a mix of sun and cloud. Hudson Bay minus 16, mainly sunny. A little warmer in Kindersley, about average, minus 8 there. And then closer to the southern border, temperatures are still the same, but the southwest will be a little warmer there. Minus 4 for Maple Creek, minus 7 for Leader. And in the southeast, minus 16 for Broadview, minus 17 for Kenora. A closer look at Borden, about 50 kilometers northwest of Saskatoon, I believe. Mainly sunny, minus 15 is the expected daytime high, but with the wind chill value will be sitting closer to a minus 23. And then as we head into the evening, actually expecting the temperatures to stay pretty similar to what the daytime high is expecting to look like. And then as we head into Thursday, a different story there, but still a little cooler than seasonal for Borden.
Well, Country Thunder in Craven is the big summer music event every year in Saskatchewan, but it's not the only one. There are several festivals, and that includes a new one that was announced today at the SaskTel Centre in Saskatoon. Hallie Mandrick has those details.
Saskatoon's newest music festival will be coming to SaskTel Centre in the summer of 2026. The Grammy-nominated Jelly Roll will be headlining Outskirts Music Festival. Organizers say the event is expected to draw in 20,000 people to the grounds of SaskTel Centre.
I think just the uniqueness of what we put together, there's a little something for everyone, and I hope that people look at this lineup and just feel like they can grab a couple of artists out of here and go, man, this is for me.
Other big names on the lineup include Third Eye Blind and Cooper Allen. The festival will also feature some local Saskatchewan talent, with Wide Mouth Mason and Braden King both set to take the stage.
So this has been in the planning stages for 3 months now. Obviously, getting a lineup like this together takes a lot of time, and then the logistics around the site and the production and the stage and everything that goes into curating a world-class music festival. So we're really excited.
The one-day festival is set to take place on June 26th, and organizers shared the event could become an annual tradition depending on the turnout.
Kind of a different feel and a different look for everybody to be outside. Of course, kind of the first day of summer holidays for everyone, and to be outside, I think we could ask for nothing better.
Tickets for Outskirts Music Festival start at $163.50, which are set to go on sale this Friday. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, let's look at the farm market. Street price canola down $2.30 to $584.02 per ton. Futures price also down $2.10 to $658.40 per ton. Amber Durham wheat stayed the same, $285.94 per ton, while red spring wheat went up $2.08 to $252.59 per ton. Feed barley stayed the same, $213.59 per ton, while flax is $626.04 per ton. As for your stock markets, the TSX dropped by 52 points. The Dow Jones was up by 185. The Canadian dollar, it went down 0.1 cent to 71.54 cents U.S. Commodity front, gold down $26.36. West Texas Intermediate crude down 68 cents, while Western Canadian Select crude was up 43 cents. And gas in Regina, no movement. It sits at $1.29.9 per liter.
Laurentian Bank is being sold to Fairstone Bank for just under $2 billion. Fairstone is an alternative mortgage lender. It will pay a 20% premium to Laurentian shareholders to buy the bank's commercial lending unit. And National Bank is acquiring Laurentian's retail and small business assets. The news today swept Laurentian shares up over 18%. Scotiabank reported earnings today, announcing profit in its fourth quarter that beat expectations. The bank earned $2.2 billion with solid gains in its wealth management and capital markets units. Scotia recently announced layoffs and is reporting a restructuring charge related to that. Fewer homes are trading hands in Vancouver. Sales were down over 15% last month from November 2024. Prices also dropped more than 4% for a detached home, the benchmark price hitting $1.9 million. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Coming up tonight after the newscast, we have E-Talk, then Big Bang Theory, and then MasterChef Canada, followed by The Traders Canada at 8 and 9 o'clock. And then 9/11, the original 9/11 will be on 9/11. Wow. Yeah, 911. 10 o'clock. And then, of course, 11 o'clock will be your national news, 11:30 local news. Well, YouTube has released its list of the top trending videos, in Canada in 2025, and it appears that K-pop hit all the right notes with their viewers.
What does it feel right every time I let you in? What does it feel like?
Not only has the hit Netflix animated movie K-Pop Demon Hunters was one of the big trending topics, but multiple songs from the musical were among the year's top trending tracks as well. The song APT by Bruno Mars and Rose, the K-pop group Blackpink, was listed as the top YouTube song of the year after it was the 5th fastest music video to reach 1 billion videos. Yeah. Pretty good song. Oh, I forgot to do, since Sabine's not here, what game do reindeer play at sleepovers? Truth or Dare?